going to be a tour of the ceramic classroom.
Welcome to room 306. Come on in, let's take a tour around.
All right, so here we are inside of the ceramics class. Ceramics gets dirty, clay gets on everything. One of the best things to do is get really cool bib overalls. On the other hand,
We have plenty of aprons, which are really handy when you're working, and we also have the full coveralls, which are great when you're working on the wheel because it gets really messy.
all right, let's move to the next spot. So this is the desk at the front of the classroom, and every time you do a project, you evaluate yourself first, and then we sit down to do an evaluation.
And your seat markers are going to be on the seating chart located right by the desk. Here are the racks for all your ceramics works that are ready to be fired. So on this shelf you have high fire that's glazed with high fire glaze. We've got low fire glazed and bisque. Another rack for that low fire glaze and bisque. And the very bottom is the shelf of shame.
Yeah, that's when you've done something that you shouldn't have done with your piece of ceramics, or it's not ready to be fired, and that's where it'll end up being sent.
So if you have something you're expecting to come back and you're wondering why it hasn't come back fired, check there, because most likely that's the problem.
All right, and here's where the high fire glazes are, and back behind me are a couple shelves used by the instructors, empty bowls and things like that, and in the corner is the old file cabinet that we rarely use.
And here we have 5 electric wheels, and then all the way over here we have 1 kick wheel.
And over on this side of the room, you're going to find the recycle buckets where you're going to be wedging clay and using clay all the time. And underneath here are plastic bags that you're going to use to cover projects you're working on.
And this is the slabbing machine that you use to do all your slabbing projects, and all of the tools are located here. Over here we have the large sponges that you'll be using to clean off your table and the counters and any other big messes, mops and other cleaning supplies, soap, sink, paper towels, trash can.
We also have the spray bottles that are used to get your anything that's too dry wet. You have your wire tools. Here's the wedging tables. You're going to be using those a lot to wedge the clay. And over to the right here is the low fire glazes that you use on anything that you want to make decorative and real pretty.
These are the racks where you'll be storing all of your ceramics projects. You'll each have your own space on the rack, and you'll identify it with your rack marker, so that'll always be your space.
And further down here as you walk around the room are the backpack racks. That's where you put your backpacks when you come into class, so they're not on your desk and don't get messy. All right, and if you look above the backpack racks, what you're going to see is examples of the 4 techniques you're going to learn in this class. You have throwing at the far right, you have coiling, you're coiling a mug, your slabbing project, which is your village, and then your sculpting of the head.
This is where the bulletin board is located.
And on the bulletin board, we put do now every day. Other little notes, your seating chart, the printed one will be here.
A clock, which is really important, so you know when to clean up.
And there's examples of well-thrown and not well-thrown pieces of ceramics. All right, so let's head out to the kiln.
All right.
All right, well here we are finally, quite a walk, but here we are at the kiln room, and I'm about to open the door. There we go, open the door. Uh-oh, it's not opening. Oh, there it is. And then we're going to go ahead in after you. Okay, you guys can follow me. All right, there's 2 kilns that we have at the school here. They're both the same kind of kilns. They're both electric. If you look inside, you'll see the coils that cause them to heat up. The lids close, refractory bricks. It gets hot. You either bisque fire your piece, you low fire it, or you high fire it. And in all cases, we don't put glaze on the bottom. Don't put any glaze on the bottom.
Stick to the shelf inside the kiln.
Inside of the kilns, there are these shelves. They can stack. So as you're filling up the kiln, You put a certain amount of ceramics there, then you put another shelf. If you can look at this thing right here, this is the thermocouple. That's actually the device that's reading the temperature inside that. And that is a tour of the classroom and the kiln room, and you should be ready for ceramics.